Hi everyone. Today we are gonna do review for topic 1 mid topic assessment. Let's start with warm-up question, guys. Compare 32 square root and 5.51 326, and it is repeating randomly, right, with randomly numbers on a number line. So guys, first of all we need to convert 32 square root as a decimal, right? So you can use your calculators to convert 32 square root as a decimal. So guys, it is 5.6568. So now we are going to compare with 5.51 326. And I forgot to put one more, 35. Okay guys, so which one is greatest one? So first we check the first digits, both same, right? 5. Then so check the second digit, 6 and 5. So 6 is greater than 5, right? Which means 32 square root is greater than 5.51 326. So now we are going to put on the number line. I will use the bottom side. For example, that if it's 5.0, 5.1, let me use the eraser. 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, and 5.6. Okay, so 32 square root. So first of all, I'm going to place the 32 square root 5.65, right? So it's gonna be between 5.6 and 5.7 in here. I can use the different color. So this is 32 square root, right? And 5.51. So it is going to be next to 5.5. Let's put 5.51. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the next example. Example 1. Is 8 square root greater than, less than, or equal to 4? And explain. So guys, is 8 square root a perfect square? It is not a perfect square, right? 9 is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square, but 8 is not a perfect square. And it says, is 8 square root greater than, less than, or equal to 4? 4. Guys, 16 square root is equal to 4, right? Because 16 is 4 square and it goes out as a positive 4. So we will underline 8 square root. So 9 square root is less than 16 square root, right? Which means 9 square root is less than 4. And also 8 square root is less than 9 square root, and it is less than 4, right? Which means 8 square root is less than 4, guys. I will move on to the example 2. Okay, let me take a screenshot. A fish tank is in the shape of a cube. Its volume is 125 cube feet. What is the area of one face of the tank? So guys, remember the volume formula. It is a cube, right? If one side is, let's give x to one side. Volume is x times x times x, right? Which means x cube is 125 cube feet. So guys, what cube gives us 125? So I will take the cube root of each side. Let me rewrite it. X cube is equal to 125 cube root. So guys, 125 cube root, 125 is 5 cube, right? 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125, right? So x is 5, guys. One side is 5, but we are gonna solve for the area, right? Remember the area formula? We multiply both sides, each side. 5 times 5 is 25. So the answer is 25 square feet. I will move on to the next one. Example 3. The table shows the results of the draw. The students who drew rational numbers will form the team called the Tigers. So Tigers, rational, right? The students who drew irrational numbers will form the team called the Lions. So Lions, irrational. Okay. List the members of each team. So guys, we will check one by one. Lydia, 38 square root. Is 38 a perfect square root? It is not, right? If it's not a perfect square root, it is irrational. So 38 is an irrational number. Mercy, 6.34. 4 is repeating. Remember guys, repeating decimals, terminating decimals are rational numbers. So 6.34, 4 is repeating. It's a rational number. Caleb, 36 square root. So guys, 36 is a perfect square, right? 6 square gives us 36. So if it's a perfect square, we call it a rational number. So 36 square root. Ryan, 6.34, 34, 43, 444. So guys, it's not repeating with the same order, right? On the same order. So it is going to be an irrational number. 6.34, 34. But then it is changing, right? 43, then 3/4. It is irrational. Then the next one, 6.34. 34 is repeating. If it's repeating decimal, it is rational number, right? Then the last one, 34 square root. 34 is not a perfect square, guys. So it is going to be irrational number. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the next one. Example 4. Compare and order the numbers below. So guys, we have pi square. Remember, the pi is always 3.14, right? So which means I need to multiply. Let me fix it. I need to put on the bottom. 3.14 times 3.14 pi square, right? So let's multiply 3.14 by 3.14. So it will be 9.8596, guys. Okay, then we have next one, 9n 1 over 2. So guys, there is an invisible addition sign between 9 and 1 over 2. So what is 1 over 2? A half as a decimal, 0.5, right? 0.5. So it is 9.5, the second one. Then it's already on the decimal form. We don't need to convert it. Then the next one is also repeating decimal, right? 5 is repeating. There's a repeating bar on top. So I can put 3 dots at the end. It means repeating decimal. Then we have 94, right? We have 94 square root. You may use your calculators when you are taking notes. This presentation will be on Google Classroom, guys. Okay, so 94 square root. Let me write in here. This is the last one. 9.6953. Okay, so we already converted all of them, right, as a decimal. So now we are going to compare in order. So we have 9.8, no, 9.85, 9.5, 9.8. We have now 9.5, but 5 is repeating, and the last one we have 9.6953. Okay, guys, so let's check the first digits. I'm going to change the color of pen. Okay, so as you see, guys, first digits are 9, right, for all of them. Okay, so now we are going to check the second one, because the first digits are same. 8, 5, 8, 5, 6. So let's order them from least to greatest. So guys, we have 8 as a second digit, then 5, 8, 5, 6. So which one is the least one? 5, right? But we have 2 5s. But this one is 9.50. We can always add 0 after the decimal point. But this one is 9.55, right? Because 5 is repeating. So which one is the least one? 50 or 55? 50, right? So 9.50, which means 9 and 1 over 2, right? 9 and, let me delete that dot, and I can change the color. Okay, 9, what happened? Okay, 9.550, which means 9 and 1 over 2, right? This is the least one. It is less than 9.5 is repeating, and it is less than, we have 9.6, right, which means 94 square root, and it is less than. Okay, guys, now, so we are done with this one, we are done with that one. Okay, we have 9.8, which means I can add 3 zeros, right? There are 4 digits after the decimal point. That's why I added 3 more zeros. So which one is the least one, guys? 8,000 or 8,596? 8,000, right? Okay, so 9.8. Then the last one is pi square. Okay, guys, so we are done with example 4. I will move on to the example 5. Example 5, which numbers are irrational? Okay, guys, so which numbers are irrational? I will change the color of pen. So guys, 30 square root. Is it a perfect square? It is not, right? If it is not a perfect square, we call as an irrational number. So 30 is irrational. Then the next one, 62 square root. 62 is also not a perfect square root. Okay guys, so if you don't know the perfect squares, you can use your calculator. 62 is not a perfect square, so it will be irrational. If it doesn't give you a whole number, then it will be irrational. But for example, 81 square root, it is a perfect square, 9, right? So it will be rational. If it doesn't give you a decimal, it is always rational number, guys. Then 16, the last one, 16 square root, 4, right? 4 square is 16, so it is a rational number. So which numbers are irrational? 30 square root and then 62 square root, right? Okay, so we are done with example 5. I will move on to the example 6. Oops. My favorite question. Check all statements that are true. Okay. Since it is a repeating decimal, 16.47 is irrational. So it is repeating decimal, that's correct, but repeating decimals are rational numbers, so it is not a correct. Since it is a terminating decimal, 6.93, yeah, the decimal stops, it ends, it terminates. Yes, it is terminating decimal, and terminating decimals are rational numbers, so this is true. Since 25 is a perfect square, 25 square root is irrational. Perfect square roots are rational numbers, right? 25 square root is equal to 5, and it is rational number, not irrational. Since 5 is not a perfect square and 5 square root is rational. 5 is not a perfect square, that's right. If it's not a perfect square, it is irrational number, so it is also incorrect. Since it is a ratio of two integers, 11 over 10 is rational. Yeah, it can be. Let me see. Since it is a ratio of two integers, 11 over 10, right? 11 is integer, 10 is integer, and 11 over 10 as a fraction, right? It is rational number, guys. That's correct. Okay, so we are done with example 6. I will move on to example 7. The height of painting is 66 square root. Between which two consecutive whole numbers is 66? So guys, we need to find the closest perfect squares to 66 square root. Remember guys, 64 square root, it's a perfect square, right? 8 square gives us 64. 64, it is between 66 square root and 81, right? 81 is also perfect square. 81, this is 8, 66 square root and 9, so which means 66 square root is between 8 and 9. Okay guys, so we are done with an example 7. The volume of a cube is 216 cube inches. How long is each side? Each side of the cube is, let's give x inches long. So the volume, remember the volume formula, if one side is x, volume is x cubed, and it is equal to 216 cube inches. So guys, what cube gives us 216? I'm going to take the cube root of each side. X cube. 6 cube, guys. 6 cube gives us 216. So x cube root, it goes out as an x, and x is equal to 6. So each side of the cube is 6 inches long, guys. Guys, if you don't understand any step, please send me an email, then I can give more explanation. Okay, the last question. Exit ticket. Solve the equation c cube, or c to the power of 3, is equal to 64. So to solve for c, what cube gives us 64? It gives us c, guys. What cube? C cube is equal to 64. I will take the cube root of each side. So guys, 64 is 4 cube. C, the cube root of c, it goes out as a c, and 4 cube root goes out as a 4. So guys, 4 cube gives us 64, right? So guys, we are done with the lesson, and now we are going to take your mid-topic assessment. Guys, it is really important. You are allowed to use your calculators. Please do your best. And the test is on Naiku. I will give you more information, guys, and I am going to post that presentation on Google Class.